Hey there, and welcome. You might know us from Zentara.blog, where our team works hard to bring you 6 brand new articles every single day, breaking down big ideas into something you can easily get your head around. And now, you're listening to Zentara Unlocked. Think of it as Zentara.blog for your ears. We'd love for you to check out the full articles with all the extras on Zentara.blog whenever you can. But if you're commuting, doing chores, or just fancy listening, we've got you covered with our daily audio editions right here. So, ready to learn something new today? Have you ever been sitting quietly and suddenly let out a loud hic? Or maybe you walked into a chilly room and felt tiny bumps pop up all over your arms? Our bodies are incredible machines, constantly working to keep us alive and healthy. But sometimes they do things that seem, well, a little weird. From sudden twitches to rumbling noises, these strange actions often have fascinating scientific explanations. Understanding the scientific reasons for body weirdness can help us appreciate just how complex and amazing we are. It turns out these odd behaviors aren't just random glitches. They are often leftovers from our ancient ancestors, or clever tricks our bodies use to react to the world around us. Let's explore 10 common weird things your body does and uncover the cool science behind them. 1. Why do we get hiccups? It's all about the diaphragm. Imagine your body is like a finely tuned orchestra. Every part plays a role, but sometimes one instrument goes a little wild. That's sort of what happens with hiccups. A hiccup is basically an involuntary spasm, a sudden, uncontrolled tightening of your diaphragm. The diaphragm is a large, dome-shaped muscle located just below your lungs. It's super important because it helps you breathe in and out. Normally, when you inhale, your diaphragm pulls downwards, making space for your lungs to fill with air. When you exhale, it relaxes back up. But when something irritates the nerves that control your diaphragm, like eating too fast, drinking fizzy drinks, or even getting excited or nervous, the diaphragm can spasm. This sudden contraction causes you to quickly suck air into your throat. Right after the spasm, a part of your voice box called the glottis snaps shut, creating that distinctive hic sound. Think of it like trying to breathe in while someone quickly covers your mouth. The sound is the air hitting the sudden barrier. So, next time you wonder why do we get hiccups, remember it's your diaphragm having a temporary, noisy tantrum. 2. What causes goosebumps? A blast from the past. Stepping into a cold room or hearing an amazing piece of music can make tiny bumps pop up on your skin, often making the little hairs stand on end. These are goosebumps. They get their name because they look like the skin of a plucked goose. But what causes goosebumps in humans? It's a fascinating leftover trait from when our ancient ancestors were much hairier than we are today. Each tiny hair on your body is connected to a tiny muscle called the erector pili muscle. These muscles are usually relaxed and invisible. However, when you feel cold or experience strong emotions like fear or excitement, your body's sympathetic nervous system kicks into gear. This is the fight or flight system. It signals those tiny erector pili muscles to contract. When they contract, they pull the hair upright and create that small bump on your skin. For our hairy ancestors, this would have made their fur stand up, creating a layer of insulation to trap heat and making them look bigger and more intimidating to potential threats. While our modern, less hairy bodies don't get much insulation from goosebumps, the reflex is still wired into us. It's a cool reminder of our evolutionary history, and another one of those interesting scientific reasons for body weirdness. 3. Why do we yawn? More than just being tired. Ah, the mighty yawn. It's super contagious. See one, and you often feel the urge to do one yourself. For a long time, people thought yawning was simply about needing more oxygen. The idea was that when you were tired or bored, your breathing became shallow, so a big yawn helped you take in extra oxygen. However, scientists now think the story is a bit more complicated. One leading theory suggests that yawning helps to cool your brain. When you take a big inhale and stretch your jaw, it increases blood flow to your brain and head. The cooler air you breathe in also helps to cool the blood circulating there, acting like a natural fan for your brain. Another theory is that yawning helps to stretch your lungs and their tissues, preventing tiny air sacs from collapsing. It might also play a role in waking us up or increasing alertness, especially when we're feeling drowsy. And the contagious part? That might be linked to empathy and social bonding, a way we subconsciously connect with others. So, next time you ask why do we yawn, remember it could be your brain trying to cool down, your lungs getting a stretch, or even your body sending a social signal. 4. Why does my stomach growl? It's your digestive system working. That rumbling, gurgling sound that seems to come from deep within your belly, especially when you're hungry, is your stomach growling. The technical term for these sounds is borborygmi. Say that 3 times fast. But why does my stomach growl? It's actually a normal part of the digestive process, and it happens whether your stomach is full or empty. Your digestive system is a long tube that food travels through. To move food along, the muscles in the walls of your stomach and intestines contract and relax in a wave-like motion called peristalsis. This action pushes food, liquids, and even air through the system. When your stomach and intestines are full, the contents muffle these sounds. However, when they are empty, or mostly empty, like when you're hungry and haven't eaten for a while, there's just air and digestive juices inside. As peristalsis moves this air and liquid around, it creates the audible rumbling or gurgling sounds. Your body actually increases these contractions when you're hungry to clean up any leftover bits of food and essentially get ready for the next meal. So, while a loud growl might feel embarrassing, it's just your amazing digestive system doing its job. It's a classic example of the scientific reasons for body weirdness that are completely normal. 5. Why do our eyes twitch? Often a sign of fatigue or stress. Suddenly, your eyelid starts fluttering or twitching on its own. It's not painful, but it can be really annoying. This involuntary muscle spasm in the eyelid is called myokemia. If you've ever wondered why do our eyes twitch, you're not alone. It's a very common experience, and thankfully, it's usually harmless and temporary. The exact reason isn't always clear, but eye twitching is most often linked to factors that irritate the delicate muscles around your eyes. Common culprits include fatigue or lack of sleep, stress, eye strain, especially from looking at screens for too long, and too much caffeine or alcohol. These things can make the nerves that control the eyelid muscles a bit overactive, leading to the random spasms. Think of it like a muscle anywhere else in your body getting a little jumpy when it's tired or overworked. Rarely, eye twitching can be a symptom of a more significant neurological issue, but in the vast majority of cases, it's just your body telling you to slow down, get some rest, or perhaps cut back on the coffee. It's another one of those common but often perplexing scientific reasons for body weirdness. 6. Why do we sneeze? Your body's explosive defense mechanism. Achoo! Sneezing is a powerful, often sudden expulsion of air from your lungs through your nose and mouth. It's your body's way of forcefully clearing irritants from your nasal passages. If you're curious about why do we sneeze, think of it as your body's built-in security system for your nose. When something like dust, pollen, pet dander, or even a sudden bright light enters your nasal cavity, it irritates the sensitive lining. Special nerve endings detect this irritation and send a signal to your brainstem, which controls involuntary actions. Your brainstem then triggers a rapid, complex reflex. You take a deep breath, the muscles in your chest tighten, and then bam! Air is expelled at high speed, carrying the offending irritant out with it. It's incredibly efficient. The force of a sneeze can be surprising. It travels very fast and can spread tiny droplets containing germs a long distance. That's why it's so important to sneeze into your elbow to help stop the spread of colds and flu. Sneezing is a prime example of how your body uses rapid, automatic reflexes, some of the most interesting scientific reasons for body weirdness, to protect you. 7. Why do we shiver? Keeping the engine warm. Walking outside on a cold day often leads to an uncontrollable shaking or trembling called shivering. It might feel weird, but it's a clever way your body generates heat to keep your core temperature stable. If you've ever asked yourself why do we shiver, the answer is simple. Your body is trying not to freeze. When your body's internal thermometer detects that you're getting too cold, it triggers a response in your muscles. Your brain signals your muscles to contract and relax rapidly and repeatedly. This involuntary muscle activity requires energy, and as muscles work, they produce heat as a byproduct. Think of it like rubbing your hands together quickly. They get warmer because of the friction and muscle activity. Shivering is a much more widespread version of this process, happening throughout many of the muscles in your body. It's one of your body's primary ways of fighting off hypothermia, getting too cold. It works alongside other responses like getting goosebumps, though less effective in humans, and directing blood flow away from your skin towards your core organs. It's a vital, automatic function and a great illustration of the brilliant scientific reasons for body weirdness focused on survival. 8. Why do fingers wrinkle in water? A pruny mystery solved. Spending time in the bath or pool often results in your fingertips and toes getting that distinctive wrinkled, pruny look. For a long time, people thought this was simply the skin absorbing water and swelling up. However, scientists now know there's more to it than that. The latest research suggests that finger wrinkling in water is actually an active response controlled by your nervous system, and it might even be an evolutionary adaptation. When your fingers are submerged in water for a while, tiny blood vessels just below the surface of your skin constrict or narrow. This process, called vasoconstriction, is controlled by your sympathetic nervous system, the same one involved in goosebumps. As the blood vessels constrict, the skin above them slightly deflates, causing the outer layer of skin, the epidermis, to wrinkle. Why would our bodies do this? The leading theory is that wrinkled fingers might have provided our ancestors with a better grip in wet conditions, much like the treads on a car tire help it grip the road in the rain. It's a fascinating example of how even something as simple as wrinkly fingers might have a hidden purpose and another cool scientific reason for body weirdness. 9. Why do we sigh? A breath of relief or a reset button. A deep sigh can feel like a release, whether you're feeling stressed, sad, bored, or even relaxed. It's more than just a big breath. A sigh is an involuntary deep inhalation followed by a longer, audible exhalation. Scientists believe sighing serves a few different purposes and is a normal, healthy part of breathing. One key function is physiological. Sighs help to keep tiny air sacs in your lungs called alveoli from collapsing. Occasionally, taking a deeper breath like a sigh helps to pop open any alveoli that might be deflating, ensuring your lungs are working efficiently. Think of it as your body's way of hitting a reset button for your breathing pattern, making sure everything is properly inflated. Sighing is also closely linked to emotions. We often sigh when we're stressed or feeling negative emotions, as it can be a way for the body to try and regulate itself and release tension. It can also be a form of communication, signaling boredom or resignation to others. So, while a sigh might seem simple, it's a complex mix of physiological necessity and emotional expression, providing further scientific reasons for body weirdness that are surprisingly useful. D-set. Why do we blush? Your body's built-in social signal, feeling embarrassed, self-conscious, or even excited, can sometimes make your face and neck turn red and feel warm. This is blushing. It's a unique human reaction, and one of those visible scientific reasons for body weirdness that's all about our social interactions. Blushing is an involuntary response, meaning you can't control it, and it's triggered by your sympathetic nervous system. When you feel a strong emotion like embarrassment, your nervous system signals the tiny blood vessels capillaries in your face to widen or dilate. This widening, called vasodilation, allows more blood to flow into those capillaries, making your skin look redder and feel warmer. Your face has more capillaries close to the surface than other parts of your body, which is why blushing is most noticeable there. Scientists believe blushing evolved as a social signal. It shows others that you recognize a social faux pas or feel vulnerable, which can build trust and encourage forgiveness. It's like a built-in automatic way of showing honesty and humility without saying a word. So, while it might feel awkward, blushing is a fascinating example of how our bodies physically react to our social environment. Understanding these scientific reasons for body weirdness helps us see that even the strangest actions often have a purpose, Whether it's a leftover survival trait, a way to keep our internal systems running smoothly, or even a method of social communication, our bodies are truly amazing. And that's a wrap for this episode of Zentara Unlocked. We hope you enjoyed it. But the journey doesn't end here. To see the visuals that accompany this discussion, read the full article at your own pace, and discover our curated list of books for further reading, with links to easily find them, head straight over to Zentara.blog. That's Zentara.blog. While you're there, explore the other 5 new articles we published today, and check out our weekly ebooks, compiling our most popular topics. Don't forget to subscribe to Zentara Unlocked so you don't miss any of our 6 daily episodes. Thanks for listening, and keep that curiosity alive.